Welcome back, everybody, to Phoenix 76 Tech Talk. And we have a heck of a broadcast for you today. Today, we have a Wall Street executive here with us. I'm Hosey, and I have my friend
Lubens.
And so today we're going to get into something that you might not hear that much, and it's something called an IT Audit Manager. So, Lubens, as a Wall Street executive, let's just start from the very beginning. Walk us through what an IT Audit Manager does and why this role is so important to the technology industry.
So an IT audit manager, they do two things. They actually manage the IT audit process and making sure that the audit is planned, it's executed, and it's reported on. And they also manage the resources on
Okay.
that particular IT audit engagement. So I manage a group of about 8 individuals at any given time within an audit project, and I just kind of make sure that everything is running smoothly, that I'm supporting my direct reports and making sure that they have the necessary resources to execute and to complete the audit engagement.
So what I just heard, Lou, is there are two pieces here. One is an audit, IT audit that you have to walk through, and that can be challenging. And then you're
Yeah.
having to also support people who are doing that work. So tell us about your daily life. Like, what do you do on a day-to-day basis when you have to balance those two? Is it helping people understand how to do the audit, or are you engaging stakeholders to tell them that these people are coming to do the audit? What do you do on a daily basis?
Great question. It's both. I'm actually working
Really?
with the stakeholders, letting them know, hey, we're coming in, we're doing an audit. This is the scope of the audit. This is what we're going to be covering, and this is how we need you to support us on that particular audit. And I'm also, on the flip side, also helping my team prepare for the audit, making sure that they have the necessary skill sets, that they have all the resources to complete the audit within a given time frame. So I'm actually doing two roles once we execute the audit and get
Okay.
ready to start it.
So when I hear the word audit, I don't really get all that excited. It's like somebody coming to grade a paper or tell me what I've done wrong. What are some of the misconceptions that people have around this role, whether you're the manager, whether you're the person doing the work? What are some of the misconceptions?
The one of the misconceptions, no one likes to get audited, right? Everyone, when they hear auditors, they start to run. And one of the misconceptions is that we're out to get you. That's not the case. We're not out to get any particular group of individuals. We're
Okay.
actually trying to make sure that we're protecting the company from risk, IT specific risks. So anytime we see any control weaknesses, we like to bring it up. And also we work with you to make sure that we get them resolved and get them addressed and fixed. So we're actually trying to make sure that we're operating in a space that's secure, that's efficient, and that's effective. We're not out to get anyone, but we're actually out to help make sure that the organization is operating safely from an IT perspective.
So I've got to ask you, Lubens, what inspired you to get into this space and what keeps you motivated daily to do this?
Great question. What got me into the space is that I started my career as an IT analyst. I
Okay.
transitioned over to application security and I enjoyed what I was doing. I was supporting a key application within the corporation and I was tapped in my shoulder from someone from audit and it was like, hey, would you like to be an IT auditor? And I had no idea what that was. All I knew
Really?
was that what I did on a day-to-day basis, and that was it. And I told the hiring manager, hey, I don't know how to audit. What is it? And they said, hey, don't worry about it. We just need your technical skills. We need your love for technology, and we'll teach you the rest. And I've been doing IT audit for the past 14 years now. The rest was history. And what keeps me really motivated in this field is that the fast-paced changing of the IT technology. That's what keeps me very motivated and wanting to learn as much as I can because I know at the end of the day, I have to make sure that I understand these new emerging technology because I'm going to be auditing it. And I want to make sure that I'm assessing the risk at the right level. So that kind of motivates me to really make sure that I understand the technology and prepping myself to be able to audit that particular technology and how we use it within the corporation.
So, Lubens, you're on Wall Street. You're an executive.
Yes.
If you're talking to someone who's watching this and they're in high school, they may be an early stage in college, or they may be re-entering the workforce from a different experience. How important is continuous learning? Even if you don't have the role right now, how important is it for someone to continuously learn and upskill their knowledge in this space, in the IT industry?
I think it's always important to continuously learn because the technology changes so drastically. If you're not continuously learning, you can kind of fall back, right? The technology is changing every 2 to 3 years, so it's imperative that you stay abreast on the technology. We have so much resources, so much free resources out there that can help you stay abreast on the evolving technology, and it's important that you take advantage of it, especially as a young person or a person re-entering the IT field or wanting to enter the IT field. Having that love for that technology and the love to learn more about the technology will definitely set you apart and keep you kind of in the cutting edge of what's going on and how things are changing within the technology space.
So I don't want you to say you failed miserably, but let's talk about some of the challenges, because thus far we've talked about how to get to this role, what the role is, and what does it mean on a daily basis. Let's talk about some of the challenges, because one, you're dealing with human beings who are doing the work. You're dealing with
That's true.
stakeholders or people you're coming in to say, let us evaluate your work, and they may not like that. And then you're having to maintain your competency. What are some of the challenges that you've encountered in your role?
As an IT auditor, I constantly face people challenges. As you mentioned,
Okay.
I'm going in and I'm assessing someone's process in terms of what they do on a day-to-day basis. They may not like that I'm looking into their processes and finding things that they may not be doing that's aligned with the corporate goals and objectives, and being able to report those items as well. So there are some difficult conversations that I typically have with stakeholders, but I always remain professional and I make it extra clear that, hey, I'm not here to personally attack you or to pick on you. What I want to make sure that we're doing is we're doing the right things to protect the organization. So there's a lot of difficult conversation within my role that I have with pretty high executives on my level. And so I have to always know how to communicate on both from a verbal perspective and also from a written perspective as well to make sure that I always remain professional and I'm communicating what's the risk and how do we resolve the risk. Because at the end of the day, what I want to make sure is that we get to resolve the risk and make sure that we're protecting the goals and objectives of the organization.
So what I just heard was the ability to communicate verbally as well as written word. So did you have a mentor? Did you have any coaching to help you become this effective manager, to help you understand the scope of the work? What role did a mentor or a coach come into play to help you with your career?
Oh, I think having a mentor or coach is instrumental in terms of coaching me for my role as an executive in the organization, being able to have executive presence, being able to navigate difficult conversations or difficult situations. And so they've always provided me some perspective in how to deal with those situations. So I think having a mentor and having a coach is very instrumental at any level, whether you're
Okay.
just starting within your career or you're getting into a new career. It's important to have a mentor and a coach to help you navigate some of the difficulties that you may encounter within your role. They kind of really provide that guidance. So I would suggest having a mentor and a coach throughout your whole entire career to help you navigate these situations.
So thus far, Lubens, we've focused on the technology. The one piece, I have two more questions for you, and one of those questions talks about the management. Someone who's listening to us, how do they develop managerial skills? Because what you shared is you're having to help those team members understand the scope of work, understand what they're expected to perform, and you're also having to communicate with people above you about what some of those challenges are. How would you suggest someone develop managerial skills? Is it something simple? Is it something over time? Talk to
It
us.
it it sometimes it could be something over time. You have to have certain skill sets to not only manage project, which is a lot of project management skill sets, being attentive to requirements, being attentive to executing on the project, but also having that skill set to manage people. Right, being able to understand where that person is coming from, being able to support them in terms of executing the audit, and also being willing to teach, a teacher as well. I enjoy teaching. So for my particular team, I always tell them that, hey, if you have a question on any sort of topic, come to me. We can sit down and go through it little by little, or however, whatever pace that they want to walk through that
Okay.
particular process. So, being helpful, being willing to help people is another a great quality to have as a manager.
Final question, Lubens, and we get you out of here on this one. There's been a lot of push by organizations to become more inclusive, more diverse in leadership, not just in the people who are doing the work, but leadership. What role has inclusion, diversity played in your career development and even now as a leader? Walk us through your journey and tell us a little bit how that has impacted who you are.
I think it's impacted me a great deal. I remember when I first got into IT, when
Uh-huh.
I saw someone that looked like me, the impression that had on me. It gave me the
Okay.
confidence, it gave me the vision to say that, hey, I can be that. Having people that look like you in a particular area or in a particular field does
Okay.
have a lasting effect in terms of where you envision yourself to be. So I think diversity and inclusion, it's critical in helping to make sure that things are equitable across the board, but it's also a great business decision as well. Having diverse group of ideas, diverse group of solution helps the business grow, helps the business from a competitive advantage perspective.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, what a great presentation with my friend Lubens, who is a Wall Street executive who walked us through IT audit management. I hope that you've enjoyed this presentation. Stay tuned to the next Phoenix 76 Tech Talk. Until then, have a good evening.